What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we've got another tier list and we are going through the most SOY fighters in the UFC. Obviously a lot of great athletes in the UFC, a lot of alpha individuals, you could say, if we're using that kind of language, but there's a lot of fighters that are extremely SOY, to be honest. So that's what we're going to be going through in today's tier list. People are going to come at me in the comments, they're going to be like, how could you call a fighter SOY? They step in the cage and risk their life. Like, shut the fuck up. They're SOY, let's be honest. But I'm going to explain why these individuals are SOY, and I'm going to be putting them on a tier list. We got 5 tiers, starting at the top with leader of the SOYs. That's for one man and one man only. Then we've got extremely SOY, moderately SOY, slightly SOY, and then SOY moments, just for those that are just occasionally SOY. But we're going to get started with the first fighter, and I'm going with Israel Adesanya. He's going in extremely SOY. All the Izzy fans, they're going to come at me, they're going to get mad at that, but I'm going to be honest, Adesanya's hella SOY. Bro wears dog collars, man's painting his nails, putting on makeup, dyeing his hair pink, complaining about stoppages, making excuses for fights, saying that he didn't eat breakfast in camp and that's why it wasn't good and that's why he didn't do as well as he could, saying his arms felt like noodles, just making some dumb statements. Got completely demasculated by Sean Strickland as well. And yeah, this guy's just overall extremely SOY. Like, he's bragging about his like fingernails and stuff and saying, you don't have the look to rock fingernails like me. It's like, bro, you're wearing nail polish. Like, you're fucking odd. But yeah, Adesanya, mad SOY, follows dog fetish accounts on Twitter and stuff too. Like, that's whack. Ain't no one to be doing that. Like, there's fighters on here that are SOY, but they don't be fucking following dog fetish accounts on Twitter. Like, that's just not it, I'm gonna be real. But yeah, dog collars, nail polish, fucking dumb shit. Makes excuses, tries to race bait, tries to do all this shit. Just an extremely SOY person. And then, when he's getting backlash and stuff from the fans, he goes on Twitter and is like, if you don't like me that I touch dogs, then leave. Don't be my fan. Like, this guy's just fucking odd individual. And his fans reflect it as well, because they're kind of SOY too, not going to lie. But we're going to move on to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Chase Hooper. He's going to go in slightly SOY. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be confused by that. You're going to be like, look at him, he's super SOY. But the difference is, I'm not even going off looks right now. Like, obviously, there is an element to the SOY look. Obviously, certain people do look pretty SOY. Chase Hooper, definitely one of them. But he's, like, got high-pitched voice and stuff like that. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. So he's obviously a bit SOY, but, he's growing into it. He's becoming more of a man. And I think this guy's clearly more of a man than Israel Adesanya. So he's not too SOY, honestly. Just because he looks like a 12-year-old doesn't mean he's SOY, Man just is growing late. Like, that's fine. But Chase Hooper, he's a bit SOY. He plays jiu-jitsu or like rolls around with other guys. Like, that's a bit SOY. But we're going to move on to another fighter. And I'm going to go with, who do we go with here? I'm going to go with KaraFrance. I'm going to go with moderately SOY for KaraFrance. I might move him later on though. KaraFrance, pulls out with an injury against Manel Cap. Shows up to the press conference, complaining and stuff like that, saying, like, trying to act like he's, like, big brother and Manel Cap and making him look dumb by doing this dumb little neck slicey thing where he puts his tongue out, just looks like a retard. Like, bro, you're 5% Maori, calm down, you're not tribal. But yeah, pulls out, and also a lot of this comes from the fact that Team CKB and Eugene Bareman had a lot of criticism of other fighters for pulling out like Drickus, but then this guy, Manel Cap, pulls out because he got hit in the head a little bit too hard, probably sparring with Dan Hooker. Like, come on, bro, you're going to get punched in the face anyway. Why are you pulling out of fights? But KaraFrance, he's a little bit SOY. I'm probably going to move him down later on. I'm going to leave him here for now, but expect to see this change later on in the video. But we're going to move on to another fighter, and I'm rocking with Colby Covington. I'm putting him in moderately SOY. You know what? This guy, pretty SOY individual. All the dumb Colby fans, previously, before the Leon fight, if I'd said this, they would get so mad. But now, honestly, I don't think it's ridiculous to say that this guy is actually extremely SOY. Makes fun of a guy's dead dad, and then puts on and talks all this big game, and then puts on an absolute stinker of a performance and completely shits the bed, and then tries to hold on to his gimmick post-fight, complains about the scorecards, makes excuses, says he broke his foot on some random kick that he threw in the first minute of the fight. Yeah, just SOY behaviour, honestly. Getting overly aggressive at other people for no reason just makes you look like an idiot, and it's extremely soy of him. So Colby Covington, I'm putting him in moderately soy just for his behaviour with this whole Leon Edwards, the previous fight week, and the aftermath too, with all the excuses. Even after the first Usman fight, makes excuses. And overall, I think playing a character, if he is doing that, or using your whole, like, making your whole shtick about being obsessed with another man, pretty soy in my opinion. So Colby's going in moderately soy. We are going to move on, obviously, to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley. He's going in extremely soy. Obviously, if there was not another man that existed that you guys probably already know, then clearly Sean O'Malley would be leader of the soys, but there is a certain individual to exist that's going to take that place. But Sean O'Malley, extremely soy individual, tattoos other men's like aliases on his face, lets his friends sleep with his wife because his wife asked him to say that. He like fully set the whole thing up and everything. Asked them, they're like, bro, it's okay, I'm allowing you to sleep with my wife. Like, that's soy behavior. Dyes his hair pink, looks like an idiot. Super skinny individual though, pretty soy physique as well, to be honest. Great striker, don't get me wrong, but overall how he talks about his relationship status and stuff and all of that kind of thing, it's pretty soy behavior if I'm being honest. It probably isn't his kid too, so there's nothing more soy than thinking. There's nothing wrong with raising a different kid if you truly love the person and you know they didn't mean it and it was a bad thing on them or something happened to them. That's fine. But Sean O'Malley, I genuinely think he's like full raising another guy's kid. Probably, I can't confirm that, but I'm pretty sure it's not his kid. So extremely soy behavior from Sean O'Malley. His trash talk is dismal. He's just an abomination of a human. He chose to make himself look like a circus clown just as a trying way to make himself entertaining. Because look, I'm going to be real. Obviously, because of the fighting style, he would still have a fan base. But, like, he's basically latched onto this dumb, millennial, weed-smoking, fucking 12-year-old fan base that thinks 6ix9ine's a good rapper and that think it's cool to let your wife get fucked by the blokes. So, Sean O'Malley, very soy. Extremely soy, you could say. But we're going to move on to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Ciryl Gane. I'm going to put him in soy moments because overall this guy's a great fighter, he's a great athlete, and he's not that soy for the most part, but pretty soy in terms of not training wrestling for a lot of his career, wanting to just do striking. Obviously striking, great martial art, but you got to do the whole package. You got to do everything. You got to train your wrestling. But also the most soy thing that he's done really is turn down Tom Aspinall, turn down Sergey Pavlovich. This was obviously before the interim title fight, and say that it doesn't make sense to fight down because he gets nothing out of it. And then post-fight, when Aspinall wins, he immediately starts calling him out. So pretty soy behavior from Aspinall, from Gane. But I'm putting him in soy moments because he really hasn't had a lot of soy moments before this. Like, I guess he plays FIFA and stuff like that, so he's a little bit soy, but ultimately he's a pretty good fighter, and he's working on the wrestling now, and he's working on his improvements. The only soy thing that he really said was that Aspinall didn't deserve to fight him or something. That was pretty soy from Ciryl Gane. But we're going to move on to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Brian Ortega. I'm going to put this guy in moderately soy, and I'm going to move KaraFrance down to slightly soy. But Brian Ortega, moderately soy. You might ask why. Actually, you probably won't ask why. Just look at the man. He's pretty soy individual. Got the long hair. Takes major layoffs, holding on to his ranking. I know that's not his fault, but this guy hasn't fought in centuries. Prone to injuries as well. Had to get taught how to box by another man. That's tough. This other guy was just fighting you, and then he was teaching you how to block punches while beating the shit out of you. It's pretty soy behavior. But to be fair to Ortega, in terms of his fighting, obviously he's jiu-jitsu based, but he's got a good heart, he's got a good chin, so he's not soy in that aspect. But he handled the whole thing with him and Tracy Cortez pretty badly as well. He claimed he was doing some bullshit, saying I forget what he said, but him, Cortez, and then Jessica Rose Clark all had this dumb little childish kind of fucking insults thing, and he was just pretty soy about it too. And yeah, he's holding on to his ranking, not fighting. He's fighting Yair Rodriguez finally, but yeah, I don't know, pretty soy from Ortega. I might move him later on. But we're going to move on to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Dustin Poirier. I'm going to put him in soy moments, and you guys might ask why, because clearly this guy, fighting style wise, definitely not soy in any way. He goes to war every time. He's a great fighter, but in terms of his attitude towards fighting now, he's become a little bit soy. I'm gonna be real. Obviously, we all know what he's been saying. He's like claiming guys don't excite him, that he doesn't want to fight them. It's like, bro, you're not the champ. You're coming off a loss. You're like 2-2 in your last 4. You don't get to call the shots. And he's acting like he's just the biggest star in the company. And that, like, before Dariush lost, he turns down Dariush, like saying like, I guarantee he won't fight Armin. His guy's not going to fight down. The only guy he's calling out is just Nate Diaz. He keeps tweeting out Nathaniel ? Or like UFC 300. Just this dumb shit saying title shot or I retire. Like, just making some dumb soy statements. Tell this guy to shush. P-head. I'm going to move on to another fighter. And I'm going to go with Jordan Levitt. I'm going to put him in slightly soy. Obviously, as a man, if you're twerking, that's just soy in itself. But yeah, just mostly the way he acts is just soy, to be honest. Like, I respect him as a decent fighter, but, you know, he doesn't seem to have, like, a lot of, like, I don't want to say heart, because, like, I guess he does go have some good fights, but against, like, Chase Hooper, lost. He was beating Paddy, and then he kind of just did nothing, and then ended up losing. So, a little bit soy from Jordan Levitt, but most of it comes from the fact that, you know, he's zesty as hell. But I'm going to move on to another fighter. And I'm going to go with... Who should I go with now? I'm going to go with Paulo Costa. And I'm going to put him in the top of slightly soy. Because this guy... I know he's got his dumb whole gimmick with the secret juice and jacked Costa and all this bullshit. And apart from that, this guy, in terms of who he's become as like a person, has just been super soy. I know he's now signed to fight Whitaker, but this guy pulled out of 3 fights in 2023. He fought once in 2022, once in 21. This guy lost to Vittori, making all these dumb statements. And according to the promotion, according to like Dana White, he's a nightmare to deal with too. He's making unrealistic claims, asking for money that he's not worth. So Paulo Costa, pretty soy in my opinion. Also, you got humped. You got dry humped by Adesanya, so that's tough. But we're going to move on to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Claudio Puelles. I'm going to put him in extremely soy. You cannot have that fighting style and not go in this tier. This guy against Dan Hooker, absolute abomination of a performance, and I don't think he's fought since. This guy, at UFC 281, came in coming off like a knee bar submission. He was meant to be some fucking grappling prodigy, and this guy goes out there and just lays on the ground against Dan Hooker and just rolls to his ass and keeps trying to grab a hold of another man's feet. Super soy behavior. Dan Hooker literally TKO'd him with teeps to the body. This guy just quit because he couldn't get his little heel hooks. Extremely soy behavior from Claudio Puelles. Haven't seen him since, and I'm glad about it. Get this fucking dumb abomination of a fighting style out of the sport. We're going to move on to another fighter, and a similar kind of aspect. I'm going to go with Kron Gracie. He is going to go in moderately soy, and I know he basically does the same thing as Claudio Puelles, but I'm going to give him a pass because he is named Gracie, and so he's probably just being like forced to do that. Also, doesn't fight very often. I guess you could put him in the same level as Mr. Puelles, but Gracie, at least this guy didn't quit, and when he got teeped, at least he went decision. But Claudio Puelles, way worse than him in my opinion. Kron Gracie's just shit. Like, I think Kron Gracie's trying to use a skill set that's just like out of date because he's a Gracie, so he thinks that shit still works. He thinks he can just go back to 1990 and just roll around on the ground and have people and pull guard, and then it's gonna work. But Puelles is just dropping to his ass. So in my opinion, Puelles more soy than Kron Gracie, but Kron Gracie is still extremely, or I'm gonna put him in moderately soy. But we're gonna move on to another fighter, and I'm gonna go with Anthony Smith. I'm putting him in moderately soy. I know he's Lionheart. I know he took the knee against Jones and did that. But apart from that, he's pretty soy, man. I'm going to be real. I could move him down. I'm probably going to adjust this later on. But Anthony Smith, since the Jones fight, made a bunch of excuses and stuff. Said Jones wasn't that good. Just made unsubstantiated claims, which is pretty soy. Then he said, like, individually Jones wasn't that good, which was just fucking odd. Then against Johnny Walker, you know, it is what it is. Had a few fights where he kind of just quit. But he did fight back and stuff against, what's his name? The black guy. Span. Yeah, him. So actually, I might move him down later on. But right now, I'm going to hold him in moderately soy, but this could change. we're going to move on to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Felipe Lindo. I'm going to put him in soy moments, just because I don't care about him enough to put him higher up on the tier. If you don't know, Felipe Lindo, this man, absolute abomination of a record. If you look at this guy, I'm going to just find this man's record real quick. Felipe Lindo, because this guy has pulled out of so many fucking fights, which is just very soy of him, to be honest. But let me read this out to you. Like, this guy's record is actually atrocious. He pulled out against Ion Cutelaba on fight day, pulled out against OSP, pulled out against Maxim Grishin, Azamat Murzakanov, OSP again, Ben Rothwell 3 times, Dante Arlovsky. Like, if you look at this guy's record on Tapology, he's pulled out of like 19 of his fucking fights. Very soy behavior, but apart from that, I just don't care about him to put him higher up. But we're going to move on to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Ryan Hall. I'm going to chuck him in moderately soy. Similar to Gracie, and I'm just going to put him right next to Kron, because they're basically the same person but just different ethnicities. So Ryan Hall, yeah, again, just rolls around on the ground, thinks that shit works. It doesn't, bro. And he got finished by Elliot Poirier, but I just think visually Puelles' performance was more embarrassing, so that's why I've got him above him. But yeah, those jiu-jitsu guys, any jiu-jitsu guy that just rolls around on the ground and sits on their ass and doesn't make an effort to strike is just soy. That's the end of it. But we're going to move on to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Chris Curtis. I'm putting him in soy moments, not for the fighting style again. Obviously, great fighter, gets in scraps, has some fun fights, but I don't know, it's just like his personality and how he talks and stuff and what he says, just very soy. He was trying to defend Ian Gary, pretty soy move. He just sounds kind of femme, to be honest, like pretty soy. Yeah, I don't know, just seems a little bit soy from what I hear. But Chris Curtis, great fighter, to be fair, and he's exciting to watch. But we're going to move on to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Darren Till. He's going in extremely soy. Mr. Till, no ACL, man. Yeah, this guy just gets out-grappled by everyone. He quits immediately. He got taken down, immediately gave up back mount, and then just tapped out as soon as Drickus put like any pressure on his jaw. Like, he just tapped straight away. This guy quits all the time. I hate to say it because, like, striking wise and his technique is great, but he's physically, like, just weaker than everyone. He doesn't have, like, any muscle, doesn't have any physical, like, imposing ability. He just gets ragdolled by people. So Darren Till, extremely soy, and even how he sounds, mate, it's not my fucking fault. I'm not soy. I just don't have an ACL. Like, he just sounds like a fucking soy bitch. So I'm sorry, Darren Till. You're going in extremely soy. We move on, though, to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Braxton Smith. I'm going to put him in moderately soy, Mr. Braxton, and I'm going to move Anthony Smith down to slightly soy, honestly, because I respect his grit in some of his fights. But Braxton Smith, moderately soy. This guy, if you watched his one fight in the UFC against Parker Porter, the most embarrassing shit you will ever see in your entire life. It was horrific, it was atrocious, it was horrendous. This guy threw like a total of 7 punches at about 60% intensity and then gassed out and got ragdolled by a now cut Parker Porter. He got just thrown onto the fucking ground and just let himself get TKO'd and quit immediately. I was contemplating whether to go with him or Romanov, but I just thought this guy's performance against Parker Porter was the most embarrassing thing ever. I'm never picking a former NFL player to win a fight ever in their life again. Never fucking doing that, yeah? But we're going to move on to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Paul Craig. I'm going to put him in soy moments just because, okay, I know the difference between him and the other jiu-jitsu guys. That's why I'm not putting him higher up on the list, because obviously he has submitted some great opposition. Ankalaev, Jamal Hill, Nikita Krylov, these kind of guys. But just this style of just dropping to your ass and just trying to rely on guard is just soy. This guy, less soy than the other ones, but he kind of just gets dominated a lot of the time very easily. Like, he almost welcomes getting dominated by other men, which is just a bit sus. So putting him in the soy moments for now. But I'm going to move on to another fighter, and I'm going to go with Tim Elliott. He's going in extremely soy. Timmy Elliott, my guy, it's tough for you, my friend. Like, Cuck Elliott, it's just a rough one, you know, when you let your wife, or not, I don't know if he let her, but his wife got plowed by Kevin Croom on his wedding night, and then he goes to Twitter and rants about it and was just probably crying in his corner, jacking off to the video. So, like, just pretty soy behavior from Tim Elliott. He dated, I think she was like an OnlyFans chick, I'm not sure, maybe I gotta verify that, but pretty soy behavior from Tim Elliott. But he's rebounded recently and he's had some good fights and good wins. Like, overall, his fighting's great, but anytime you get cucked, you just gotta be in the soy, extremely soy category. We're gonna move on to another fighter, and I'm gonna go with, who should I go with now? I'm going to go with... Oh, we're up to the... Oh, we're done. Okay, so the leader of the Soys. It's pretty fucking obvious who it is. If you guys haven't guessed already, it is going to be Islam Makhachev. I'm kidding. It's Ian Gary. Obviously the most soy fucking individual on the planet ever. This man, absolute abomination. Fucking lets his wife's ex be his nutritionist. Lets his wife's ex sit in the house, lets them both basically control everything he does. He's on a vegan diet under his wife's ex, who's also his nutritionist. A book literally exists from his girlfriend or from his wife called How to Be a Wag, and he, like, you all know the situation. You watched MMA Guru's video, you might have watched my video, you probably watched everyone's videos, but everyone knows Ian Gary, super soy, pulled out on fight week as well, was talking so much shit to Magny, Jeff Neal, these kind of things, trying to trash talk, trying to make things interesting, which is fine, but then as soon as people go and talk some shit about him, I'm suing you for defamation and harassment. Like, shut the fuck up. He's just saying that everyone's lying. I'm suing you for defamation. Like, call the cops, as Conor McGregor would say. Ian Gary is such a soy individual. What a fucking bitch, yeah? Terrible for me and Gary. Extremely soy individual. And now he's gonna complain and shit. And, like, this man talked all this shit, said he was gonna show up to the presser, do all this stuff, and then he doesn't show up to the presser, doesn't show up to media day, pulls out of the fight after just getting verbally roasted online and whinging about it. He even posted some, like, the haters are gonna hate type of video, and then still refuses to fucking do anything and show up. But at least now he's fighting Jeff Neal in February. Like, come on, man, you can't tell me you got... I know it's 2 months, but can't tell me you got pneumonia and then you're gonna fucking, like, go straight back into a camp and fight in 2 months. Like, it can't be that bad. Just fight, man. I just think he didn't want to get verbally abused. But Ian Gary, leader of the Soys, no doubt about it. The only man on the UFC roster in this situation. Wife's ex is not your nutritionist. Your wife literally wrote a book on how to gain control of young aspiring athletes and take control of them and manipulate them into doing what you want. Like, come on. It's in front of you, my guy, and he's not doing anything about it. But, guys, that's the video done. I hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know in the comments if you agreed with my picks. If these athletes are, in fact, as soy as I'm saying, maybe they're not that soy. I'm trying to think, do I want to move any of these? I think I'm good with this. So I've got Ian Gary, leader of the Soys. In extremely soy, I got O'Malley, Adesanya, Puelles, Till, and Elliot. Moderately soy, I got Colby, Cron, Hall, Ortega, and Braxton Smith. Slightly soy, I got Smith, Costa, Kai, Hooper, and Levitt. And then soy moments, I got Garn, Poirier, Lins, Curtis, and Paul Craig as well. I think that's good enough for me. If you guys want to change anything, let me know in the comments. But that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I've just repeated the fucking outro. That'll be it. I'm doing all the end of year award kind of vibes for tier lists. Like, I'm going to do KO of the year tier list, fight of the year, all that kind of vibes. And we're going to get all that done. And then we're looking towards 2024. Bunch of new videos for that. Obviously, predicting champions, all this kind of vibes. So, that'll be it. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.